In the outskirts of Yarnum, the city of gravekeeper witches carved by the sunlight, lies Hemwick. In its depths, an all-gigantic structure and one old lady lies in wait, holding suspicious rituals in the deepest of the night. For that very purpose, it is said that she gathers the eyeballs of the living. In the city where unwanted corpses would be gathered and disposed of, her outfit might just be befitting of such a place. Hemwick Graveyard, located on the outskirts of Yarnum. Despite the warm-coloured sky and beautiful clouds, this graveyard is home to some very twisted residents, like the deformed gravekeeper hags with their horrifying shrieks and long-reach attacks. When you make your way through the depths of Hemwick Graveyard, you'll come upon an old manor inhabited by a powerful eyeball-collecting witch, among other things. Night after night, this old woman loses herself in a strange ritual. Supposedly, because of this mysterious rite, she has taken to collecting eyeballs, which she proudly displays upon herself for all to see. So this was an interesting fight, probably the easiest so far, slightly tedious, but once you know the mechanics, it can be done fairly easily. I died on my first encounter, which you'll see in a bit, but that was purely because I wasn't paying attention effectively. So, Witch of Hemwick, there's actually two witches. There's the actual witch and I believe a doppelganger, like a clone of herself. And during the first phase of this fight, it's the clone's health bar that you'll actually see. Saying that, if you do damage the actual witch herself, that damage will be reflected on her health bar when it appears later on during the fight. As far as I know, both witches will become visible during the fight, and there's no real easy way to determine which is which, other than if you attack one and the health bar drops and you know it's a doppelganger. So they stay invisible for most of the time, and mad ones spawn. Now, a lot of advice, you can see a lot of advice, people say you can literally finish this fight without actually killing any of the mad ones, because they're very slow, they're not extremely aggressive, it's only if you get close to them that they can attack you. But what I found in my first encounter at least was in the second phase, when you've killed the doppelganger and you're fighting the actual witch, that she's a lot more aggressive. She has paralyzing attacks that if they hit you, you get paralyzed and she'll lunge at you and try to gouge your eyeballs out. And if there's a lot of mad ones in the room and they're close to you when that happens, your tickets, you're gonna die, because they attack you while the witch is gouging your eyes out and you literally can't do anything. So bear that in mind. You just got to have area awareness effectively. So when you walk in the first time, generally straight to your left corner there will be the doppelganger. You can just go and do an R2 heavy attack on her, get a visceral attack in, and you do a decent amount of damage. And then she'll go invisible, and you can sometimes, there's a red glow in the room. If you see that, that's generally where the witch is, and if you come within 2 or 3 meters of them, they become visible and you can attack them. So what I generally did was, you just run around the perimeter of the room effectively. When they become a visible attack, they go invisible, just keep running around the perimeter. They sometimes spawn in the middle of the map, so if you do a full run around the room and they don't show themselves, then just run to the middle, and that's generally where they will be. So yeah, when you kill the doppelganger, that's generally when the actual witch's health bar will reveal itself. And if you don't kill the actual witch within about 50 seconds after killing the doppelganger, she will resurrect the doppelganger at 20% health. So bear that in mind. Once you get to that point, you just want to try kill her as quickly as possible. And obviously in phase 2, like I said, they get more aggressive. They have that paralyzing attack, and they also have like this arcane explosion radius attack, AoE attack, which does a lot of damage. So you've got to be a bit careful of that as well. But overall, that's generally the strategy, and it is a fairly easy fight. But like I said, the only real trick is if she paralyzes you and you're in the part of the room where there's a lot of mad ones, it can go south very quickly. So bear that in mind. But it was a good fight. I enjoyed this whole area. In fact, it was interesting and cool. So I will now leave the fight to you, and I will see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.